a disciple of Ogun with crucial deviations. Wole Soyinka.
There once lived a colorful personality in this part of the world, a preacher named Father Divine, whose calling was not too distant from ours since his material was rhetoric. He was sentenced to a long term of imprisonment in what most of his followers insisted was a politically motivated miscarriage of justice. As he left the dock, he turned to the judge and said something to the effect of, "You wait and see what will shortly happen to you." A few days later, the judge was dead. Father Divine was woken up in prison and asked for his reaction. Apparently not missing a beat, he replied, "I hated to do it." Like Father Divine, writers sound such warnings constantly, but they never claim responsibility when the inevitable happens. I think it's about time that modesty was abandoned. The guardian sorcerers who surround us take silent note. They pass a message to the presiding deity, in my case, Shango, a turbulent deity whose province is also the administration of retributive justice. And he did the rest. Let's not forget also the immediate human trigger of the Tunisian revolution, Shango's self-sacrificing agent who set himself on fire. His medium of protest was no accident, and I hope he recovers fully so I can visit, commiserate, then celebrate with him. I shall console him, reassure him that he had been possessed by Shango. He incinerated the status quo, even at the price of letting fire consume his body. Unless, of course, that individual was indeed Shango in his own person. Why not? Yoruba deities, as in many of the world's mythologies, are of course figures of ambiguity, contradictions, never straightforwardly black and white. Cruelty is as much part of their game as is benevolence or lyricism, justice, and numerous other virtues. But then, think of all Christian martyrs and or heretics who went the way of the auto da fe in defense of a conviction or simply engaged in the mission that their faith be purged of all impurities. We could go on and on in that direction and we'd only arrive at a conclusion that it is sad, truly sad, that at this stage of human development, such a high price has to be paid again and again on behalf of such a basic commodity that is in the intangible bequest of humanity. The freedom to think, freedom to move thought into expression, that is, to communicate. Otherwise, what use is thought? Freedom to explore, interrogate, and critique the boundaries of seeming reality. Yes, that false reality that endures in so many nations, in some cases for upwards of half a century, only to collapse at the first or next or succession of pinpricks administered by the creative temperament that refuses to be circumscribed or constricted. Those whose very craft equates the eternal cry of humanity, freedom. I think of them sometimes as the intuitive heretics of orthodoxy, secular or religious. They are the witches, the sorcerers of the apparent, necromancers transcending the limitations of reality or appearance. Laurent Gbagbo looks out from his fortified observatory and sees Robert Mugabe still riding it out on his own wall, blotting out the horizon for others with his grossly inflated ego. These obscenities accuse us, alas, of sorcery deficiency, remedies for which we must continue to pursue in both tried and tested and completely innovative means.